and then with the next 100-point increase, he gained another 2 billion renminbi in profit. With 12 billion renminbi, as the index broke the 3,000 points, Qin Fei cashed it out. After getting 12 billion renminbi, he continued to buy bank stocks. The RM bank stocks surged from 15.5 to over 20 and even 21. This return was quite good, bringing him directly to 16 billion renminbi. The A shares without restrictions on the upward trend are impressive. It seems that before the trading suspension, reaching 18 billion renminbi is possible. In other words, exceeding 20 billion Hong Kong dollars is achievable, and profits could double. Watching RM bank stocks rise, he beamed with joy. This wave of profit was very comfortable. After selling tomorrow, holding 20 billion Hong Kong dollars, he would buy another batch of TVB stocks. This could increase his holdings in TVB from 20 to 25. He would soon surpass Sir Xiao's 30 stake. By then, he wouldn't even need to buy Sir Xiao's shares in TVB. He could become the largest shareholder of TVB. He couldn't wait to surprise Qin Yao. TVB would eventually be his. After finishing today's trading, Qin Fei left the computer. His aunt immediately brought over a bowl of nutritious chicken soup to help him recover, as he felt quite tired after playing too hard with Zhao Liying. While drinking the soup, he rested well at the Yang family home. He and Yang had an unusual relationship, and his aunt was well aware that the blood relationship between the two families was already thin. This cousin was just a title. His aunt smiled and spoke. Xiao Fei, you and our aren't young anymore. Have you thought about getting married? Where do you plan to hold the wedding? Qin Fei felt helpless and could only cough lightly. Well, Yang is still developing. She wants to become a big star. If it gets out that she is not single, it would greatly affect her star path. His aunt thought about it and sighed, saying, alas, our Yang family only has this one We're hoping to hold a grandchild soon to pass on the Yang family lineage. After saying that, she looked at him expectantly, making Qin Fei both amused and helpless. He didn't expect her to urge him to get Yang pregnant quickly. Thinking about it, actually, not getting married, but having a child was still possible. As long as they kept it discreet, there was no need to worry about media exposure. After giving birth, she could take care of herself and continue to be a big star. Considering this, Qin Fei's eyes lit up. He had some ideas. Their Qin family lineage also needed to be passed on, and he knew Qin Yao liked children very much, so having a child was completely feasible. Just then, Yang Yi returned from filming an advertisement, looking exhausted. Mom, is there anything to eat? I'm really hungry. Following Yang, he was a female manager, who noticed Qin Fei and greeted him respectfully. Hello, boss. Today, Miss Yang attended 2 commercial events to promote 2 plazas. The advertising fees have already been transferred to our company's account. It's a total of 10 million renminbi. Here's the bill for your review. Qin Fei took a look and found that Yang Yi was truly impressive. She had secured 2 advertisements in just one day, earning 10 million renminbi. No wonder she was a big star. Such earnings were unimaginable in Hong Kong. Even though the average salary in the mainland is low, the salary of a big star is not. Earning 10 million in a day is quite common for a star, and in the future, it's entirely possible for a star to earn over 100 million a day. Qin Fei smiled lightly, glanced over, and complimented Yang. Not bad, you did well. Cousin rewards you with 1.5 million, which will be transferred to your bank card. Hearing Qin Fei's words, Yang Yi was overjoyed, cheered, and hugged Qin Fei, kissing him on the cheek. The manager nearby didn't dare to stay any longer and left a message. Boss, there are 2 more commercial advertisements tomorrow. I'll come to pick up Miss Yang in the morning. Qin Fei waved his hand to let her leave. Now that his aunt knew Yang, he had become a big star and earned a bonus of 1.5 million renminbi in one go. She was overjoyed. Xiao Fei, you and have fun. I'll go make you something to eat. After saying that, she completely ignored the 2 and went into the kitchen. With his mother's tacit approval, Yang Yi snuggled in Qin Fei's arms, unwilling to get up. Looking at Yang Yi in his arms, Qin Fei smiled and hugged her tightly, leaning close to her ear. He whispered, baby, help me have a child, and then it will be our child. Yang Yi nodded happily. Her face flushed. Cousin, I want to help you have one. But then she frowned. But I want to help you film the advertisement. If someone finds out, will I not be able to become a big star? After all, there are many things to pay attention to after becoming pregnant. Qin Fei laughed heartily. Don't worry, it won't be so soon. Even if your belly really gets big, I can find a reason to keep you hidden for a while. After you give birth, you can come back. Yang Yi was surprised. She didn't expect it could be this way. She immediately became happy and nodded repeatedly. Yes, that is a good idea. Cousin, I want to have a child with you. Qin Fei laughed. He planned to work hard tonight and prepare early. Now that his assets have increased, it would be meaningless if no one inherits so much wealth in the future. He wants Yang Yi to help him with this, and then let Zhao Liying do the same. He wants to strengthen his Qin family. Anyway, getting pregnant doesn't happen that quickly, and after conceiving, there is really nothing to be afraid of for a few months. Once it becomes obvious, he can have Yang Yi take good care of the pregnancy, and she can continue her career as a big star. As long as some rumors are kept under control and the publicity is handled well. The news about Yang Yi having a baby won't leak out. He made an agreement with Yang Yi, watching her with a heart full of affection. Qin Fei felt very pleased. Early in the morning, he sold RM Bank for 18 billion and bought TVB stocks, further increasing his stake in TVB. Qin Fei now holds 25 of TVB shares. Enjoying breakfast at the Yang family. The breakfast at the Yang family was quite ordinary. However, it was indeed very warm. And Qin Fei really liked this cozy family atmosphere. Uncle Yang had long regarded him as his own son, and he could clearly see Yang Yi's relationship with him. The two of them slept in the same room at night. How could he not understand? With a smile, he said, Xiao Fei, are you and Yi planning to live in Xiangjiang in the future, not planning to come back to Beishan? If not, we could buy a villa in Beishan as a new home for you too. With the more than 1 million that Yi earned, we could buy a small villa. Yang Yi also nodded beside him, giggling, that's right, cousin. In the future, when I have children, I want them to go to school here in Beishan. I feel that Beishan is quite nice. Xiangjiang can't compare to this place. Comparing the lives of the wealthy. It was indeed true that the wealthy in Xiangjiang did not live as easily as those in Beishan. Qin Fei calmly ate his breakfast and said, Uncle Fong, how about this? Let us buy a few more luxury villas to hold on to. I remember there are a few townhouses in Longgang District, close to the city. Such villas will be hard to build in the future. They will definitely only be built in the suburbs later on, so we can buy a few more of those close to the city. Uncle Yang thought about this and realized that Qin Fei was right. The property prices in Beishan must rise. He also felt this way now, as more people from Xiangjiang would come to Beishan in the future, leading to a surge in property prices, coupled with the continuous increase in domestic GDP. Property prices would definitely go up. He nodded seriously and said, that is true. Right now, there are fewer buyers for villas in the city, and the prices are very negotiable. The price per square meter is even lower than that of commercial housing in the city. So, if it really appreciates, we could buy a few more. Qin Fei decided to spend a little more money to purchase a few villas. I'll take out about 1 billion renminbi and see which villas close to the city are good, and buy a few more. If they can be rented out, we'll rent them. If not, we'll just hold on to them and wait for appreciation. Uncle Yang laughed heartily, admiring Qin Fei's ability to make money. After all, Qin Fei was now the second largest shareholder of TVB. Chapter 54. The financial crisis erupts as the second largest shareholder, with hundreds of billions of Hong Kong dollars at stake. Qin Fei was certainly not short of this 1 billion renminbi. He smiled and readily agreed, of course. He would help Qin Fei keep a close watch on things. Sure. Xiao Fei, leave this to me. I'll help you select a location. You won't be disappointed. Qin Fei was more than willing to trust Yang Fong and hand over the responsibility to him. He planned to transfer 1 billion renminbi directly to Yang Fong's account and have him help choose the properties, aiming to buy around dozens of units. According to the current property prices in Beishan, a small villa costs about 2 million renminbi, and there are quite a few around 3 million as well. At over 300 square meters, these large areas are actually cheaper than commercial housing. Holding dozens of units would greatly appreciate in value in the future. As long as they were in the city center, he would acquire them regardless of price. Some people in Xiangjiang had already noticed the development in Beishan. Many from Xiangjiang had come to Beishan to speculate on real estate, and the first wave of rising property prices in Beishan was definitely related to those from Xiangjiang. Before these people entered the market, Qin Fei wanted to secure a few more units. Spending 1 billion renminbi on a few villas would definitely lead to additional funding later on. In the afternoon, Qin Fei accompanied Yang Yi, who had just finished shooting an advertisement, back to Xinjiang. They took a boat over, and as soon as they arrived in Xinjiang, Yang, wearing a baseball cap, went unnoticed while holding onto Qin Fei's arm. The two originally planned to take a car back. Unexpectedly, before they could hail a taxi, they found that there were clearly people marching in the streets of Xinjiang. The 2008 financial crisis had caused some banks in Xinjiang to collapse. The situation in Xinjiang was indeed chaotic under the impact of 2008. A group of people were holding up signs and continuously shouting, "Return our hard-earned money! Return our hard-earned money! I lost all my several million Hong Kong dollars deposited in the bank. The bank owes me money. The despicable Xinjiang MS Bank. My money has all been swallowed. Their boss has fled." The crowd raised their signs, shouting loudly, causing Yang Yi to watch everything with a tight grip on Qin Fei's arm, looking anxious. "Cousin, why is Xinjiang so chaotic?" Qin Fei glanced around calmly, and even without asking, he understood the situation. Protecting Yang Yi with a calm expression, he said, "It seems the 2008 financial crisis has hit. Some banks in Xinjiang have all their funds and Hong Kong stocks wiped out, especially several small banks. I'm afraid they have lost a lot of money, and they've used up all the depositors' funds. Indeed, under the 2008 crisis, some bank traders in Xinjiang went bankrupt, causing the money of many depositors to be lost. The owners of small banks couldn't hold on any longer and fled. This led a lot of people to march and loudly curse, hoping the Xinjiang government would intervene. But unfortunately, such matters are difficult for the government to handle. After all, the heads of the banks had long since absconded with the donations. What was left was just an empty shell. It was unrealistic to expect ordinary employees, who were also victims, to repay the money. Seeing the streets in such chaos, Qin Fei didn't want to stay any longer. He hailed a taxi and got in with Yang Yi, heading directly back to the luxury residential area of Qianchuan. In less than half an hour, they arrived at the luxury area. The security guard at the entrance greeted Qin Fei politely. "Mr. Qin, welcome back." Qin Fei nodded, got out of the car, and walked into this affluent neighborhood, which was clearly very peaceful. This time, the 2008 financial crisis had not affected this group of wealthy people at all. Upon seeing Qin Fei, several people greeted him. "Hello, Mr. Qin. You and your girlfriend are back. Miss Yang is getting more beautiful. By the way, Mr. Qin, what do you think about this 2008 financial storm? I heard the Hang Seng Index is about to drop below 10,000 points." Someone curiously inquired. Under the financial crisis, many ordinary people had suffered losses. Although these wealthy individuals also faced losses, it didn't impact them much. The Huang couple in front of him were engaged in jewelry trade, making profits of several billion Hong Kong dollars a year in Xinjiang. With the drop in the Hang Seng, their losses amounted to just over 1 billion Hong Kong dollars, which they could recover in about 6 months, so they didn't need to worry at all. Talking about this matter, they could only express their astonishment. "Mrs. Huang looked fearful. Dear, I heard that several banks in Xinjiang have closed. Will our money also be unrecoverable?" Mr. Huang laughed, showing no concern at all. Small banks in Xinjiang might close, but large banks won't. There are a few internationally renowned banks that are safe. They handle large orders just as securely as Swiss banks, so there's nothing to worry about. If we talk about internationally famous banks, Swiss banks are known for their safety. Storing funds there means you don't have to worry about losing your money. They have a reputation built over hundreds of years. It's impossible for a big bank to go bankrupt. Only small banks do. Qin Fei smiled and replied, "Boss Huang, how has your jewelry business been lately? My cousin and sister are still short of a few jade pendants. I'd like to buy some from you soon." The other party's eyes lit up, and he immediately smiled and tried to get closer. "Just so happens I have a batch of high-quality jade here with a few pieces of imperial green, thumb-sized, each worth over 10 million Hong Kong dollars. How about I sell you 2 pieces for 15 million Hong Kong dollars? Imperial green is originally expensive. 15 million Hong Kong dollars is relatively cheap now. It will sell for even more later." He could see that Yang Yi beside him really liked it, so he smiled and agreed. "Then please, Mr. Huang, bring them to my house next time for my 2 girls to have a look." Mr. Huang nodded repeatedly in agreement. Laughing, "Mr. Qin, You're a celebrity in our community. Li Chaoran has tried to contact you several times. I'll bring him along after I go back. Qin Fei nodded, originally planning to leave with Yang Yi, but Mr. Huang continued with a smile. By the way, Mr. Qin, there's a villa party this afternoon at my house. Come and join us. Bring your girlfriend and sister along. The more the merrier. Qin Fei hesitated for a moment, but still agreed. Although he was very curious about how far the Hang Seng Index had dropped, there was no rush to check today. He could find Qin Yao when he got back and attend the party together. Yang Yi followed Qin Fei as they left, bidding farewell to the Huang couple. And she couldn't help but sigh. I didn't expect that ordinary people in Xiangjiang have lost all their money and are still protesting. But here in the villa area, they're having a party. Cousin, is this the difference between the rich and the ordinary? Qin Fei nodded, appearing calm. Yes. 90 of Xiangjiang are ordinary people. Only about 5 are truly wealthy. These people won't be affected by a financial storm. In fact, some might even profit from it. That's Xiangjiang. Yang Yi nodded, understanding that the impact of the 2008 financial crisis was primarily on ordinary people. The wealthy in the villa areas of Qianchuan were completely unaffected and could continue to earn money. After returning, Qin Fei glanced at the Hang Seng Index, which had already dropped from 11,000 to below 10,000 points. An index of 9,800 points was indeed alarming. Originally at 19,000, now at 9,800, who would have thought the Hang Seng would drop so drastically? Many people went bankrupt because of the Hang Seng, and several traders from the Xiangjiang Financial Tower had also jumped off buildings. Now, the unemployment rate in Xiangjiang began to rise, reaching over 30. It was about to breach 50. Some young people can't find jobs, and laid-off employees, under the high cost of living in Hong Kong, don't know how to survive. Of course, this has nothing to do with Qin Fei. Right now, he has the two women dressed up nicely. Qin Yao and Yang Yi changed into beautiful Gucci fashion outfits, and when they came out, they gave him a refreshing feeling. The two women paired with such high-end clothing really looked stunning. Their temperament was unique, not to mention Yang Yi. Even Qin Yao exuded a kind of young lady vibe. As soon as Qin Yao approached, she hugged his arm intimately and said, "Brother, I haven't participated in any events in the wealthy district. Is it fun?" Yang Yi also smiled and stepped forward, her face beaming. Cousin is a celebrity in Shallow Water Bay now. Besides Li Chaoran, Cousin is the most impressive. When those people see Cousin, they will definitely greet him. After all, our cousin is the second largest shareholder of TVB, worth hundreds of billions. Yang Yi's admiring gaze made Qin Fei laugh heartily. He wrapped his arms around the two women and headed to the gathering. Just as Yang Yi mentioned, in this luxury area of Shallow Water Bay, apart from Li Chaoran, his influence was the strongest. Acquiring 25 of TVB's shares meant that everyone knew his worth was definitely in the hundreds of billions of Hong Kong dollars, close to $1 trillion. And it was all in cash flow, enough to overshadow a group of wealthy individuals in Shallow Water Bay. As soon as Qin Fei accompanied Qin Yao and Yang, a group of people greeted them warmly. These were people they had never seen before, but they acted as if they were long-lost friends, being very enthusiastic. "Young Master Qin, the party has started. We're just waiting for you, Miss Yang and Miss Qin, to join us." "Haha, young Master Qin. Congratulations on becoming the second largest shareholder of TVB. I heard your shares are almost surpassing Sir Xiao's." "Indeed, Sir Xiao is getting old. TVB will be young Master Qin's world from now on." "Young Master Qin, I heard you're good at stock trading. Do you need funds? We're very willing to invest in you." A crowd gathered around. Knowing that Qin Fei was involved in finance and his worth was considerable, many were eager to invest in Qin Fei's financial company, putting in hundreds of billions of Hong Kong dollars to earn some dividends. Now, during the 2008 financial crisis, bank interest rates had fallen significantly, and keeping money in the bank wasn't profitable. If entrusted to capable individuals, they were very willing. However, under the 2008 financial crisis, how many traders could make money? Besides Qin Fei, no one could compare. Therefore, they looked at Qin Fei with shining eyes. He had become a hot commodity, and everyone wanted to join in the excitement. Chapter 55. The financial pullback of U.S. stocks. Without the Li family, can investments still be attracted? Now, with just a word from him, Not to mention hundreds of billions, even thousands of billions of Hong Kong dollars can be obtained. With a smile, Qin Fei casually said, I have also established a private financial company in Hong Kong. If needed, I can offer some investment shares to everyone. When the time comes, those willing to invest can contact me. Hearing Qin Fei's words, a group of people quickly gathered around. Qin Fei's capital was a testament to his strength. The other party was quite young, yet had reached a net worth of hundreds of billions of Hong Kong dollars. This all proved Qin Fei's trading abilities. How could they not believe it? A group of people added Qin Fei's contact information and asked for his phone number, eager to invest in Qin Fei's financial company. Now, Qin Fei's social circle expanded rapidly. If you have strength, you need not worry about friends. The wealthy circle is that simple, driven by interests. What do the rich in Hong Kong count for? At this moment, someone called out, shifting the attention of the crowd. Mr. Li is here. A voice rang out, causing several people to turn their heads, their gaze landing on the most famous figure in Hong Kong, Li Chaoren. Li Chaoren came over with his two sons, and the crowd exchanged greetings. At this moment, the Li family arrived, and noticing Qin Fei, despite their previous connections, they acted as if they didn't see him, showing no signs of acknowledgement. This was not lost on the wealthy onlookers, who began to whisper among themselves. They had heard rumors that the Li family had some conflict with young Master Qin. During a previous round of financing, the Li family suddenly withdrew their investment. And although they gifted young Master Qin a shop, their relationship had fractured. Indeed, how could Mr. Qin be happy after the Li family suddenly pulled out? It seemed the two had become adversaries. The Li family is indeed short-sighted. To offend a capable young man for the sake of Sir Shao, whose era has long passed, someone said. That's right, young Master Qin is now the second largest shareholder of TVB. I believe it won't be long before he becomes the largest. Another added. The murmurs reached Li Chaoren's ears, and his expression darkened. He hadn't expected things to unfold like this. It was evident that Qin Fei, brimming with youthful vigor, had acquired 25 of TVB's shares, a remarkable feat. The era of Sir Shao was gone, and now it truly belonged to the young. Li Chaoren's indifference towards him indicated their stance. The one shop they gifted him had not pleased Qin Fei at all. Especially now, Qin Fei had not even bothered to check it out, merely holding it under his name without a glance. This was enough to demonstrate his attitude. Li's second son sighed. Dad, I told you long ago that Sir Shao's era is over. Now, with 25 of TVB's shares in his hands, I suspect his assets have exceeded 70 billion Hong Kong dollars, meaning he's about to reach 100 billion. Indeed, 100 billion Hong Kong dollars is not considered impressive. The Li family's capital strength exceeds trillions, with a valuation in the tens of trillions. This is the current Li family. However, most of that wealth is tied up in real estate that cannot be sold, and the liquid assets amount to only 200 to 300 billion Hong Kong dollars. If Qin Fei controlled 100 billion in cash flow, the Li family would be shocked, especially considering how young he is. At under 25 years old, he had amassed a net worth of 100 billion Hong Kong dollars. Among the wealthy in Hong Kong, who had such capability, Qin Fei was the first to achieve his current status through his own efforts. No one could compare. What's this? Wait until he acquires TVB, said Li's eldest son, scoffing. Sir Shao has plenty of funds too. With 100 billion Hong Kong dollars, he could acquire TVB. I don't believe it. Without our Li family, what can he do? With pride, Li's eldest son displayed his arrogant attitude, showing no understanding of the terrifying implications of 100 billion Hong Kong dollars during the 2008 financial crisis. Right now, during the 2008 financial crisis, the Li family's assets had shrunk by more than 30. Originally, they would have had a total asset value of 1 trillion Hong Kong dollars. But now, it's about 700 billion Hong Kong dollars and still decreasing. In a financial crisis, if you have cash in the bank, you're the boss. However, the eldest son could not comprehend this. The wealthy elite in Hong Kong were oblivious to the impact of the 2008 financial crisis. Watching his brother appear unconcerned, Li's second son sighed, his expression grim. He felt powerless within the family and could only watch as the Li family weakened, sensing that one day, Qin Fei would surpass them, and the Li family would be crushed beneath his feet. Brother, shouldn't we greet the Li family? Qin Yao asked curiously, spotting Li Chaoren not far away. She initially intended to greet him, but was stopped by Yang Yi. Yang Yi, serious in demeanor, spoke up, expressing skepticism towards the Li family. Yao Yao, the Li family looks down on us now. Last time, because of our cousin's actions that caused TVB's stock to drop, the Li family withdrew their investment, opposing our cousin. The shop they gifted us isn't worth much, with the decline in Hong Kong real estate. It's only worth 500 million Hong Kong dollars, located in a remote corner of Kowloon City. Indeed, a small shop would not catch Xin Fei's eye. He had already ignored it since the Li family appeared, and although they saw each other often, they were like strangers now. Previous cooperation was as if it had never happened. That is the world of capital. Without profit, you are a stranger. With profit, cooperation makes everyone feel like brothers. Since the Li family was willing to assist Sir Xiao, Xin Fei certainly had no interest in maintaining good relations with them. He had no need to curry favor with the Li family, especially when he had his own strength and confidence. To me, the Li family is just a paper tiger. During the 2008 financial crisis, their real estate business is plummeting, and to stabilize the situation, they need more funds to manipulate the Hong Kong property market. However, that market is gone for good. Even if it rises, it will never reach the original heights. Qin Yao looked curious, but did not understand the current situation in Hong Kong. Brother, how does the plummeting property market relate to the Li family? If they don't sell their properties, won't they incur minimal losses? Qin Fei chuckled and began to explain to Qin Yao, realizing she still had much to learn. After all, she was quite naive. He was genuinely worried she might get deceived, patiently explaining, the Li family benefits the most when Hong Kong properties are inflated. They have a hand in manipulating prices, but to do so, they need to collaborate with banks for loans. You see, during the 2008 crisis, some people can't even repay their loans. How do they expect to recover their money? Qin Yao suddenly understood. Now it made sense. With the outbreak of the 2008 crisis, many mortgage holders in Hong Kong couldn't even make their monthly payments and went bankrupt. In this case, how could the sold properties bring back funds? How could banks possibly lend to the Li family? This meant that the Li family couldn't recover funds from the properties they sold. Thus, how could they avoid losses? If they want to prevent losses, they have to go door to door collecting debts. If you go to those bankrupt individuals to collect money, they are destitute, with not a penny to their name. If pressed too hard, they might even jump off a building. If the Hong Kong news reports that the Li family is forcing others to jump, their reputation would be utterly destroyed. They would be finished in an instant, leading to severe losses for the Li family. Under the impact of the 2008 crisis, the blow to the Li family was not trivial. Qin Fei stood by, enjoying the spectacle. The true reshuffling of Hong Kong would begin after this ordeal. At that time, it would be evident who was strong and who was weak. He accompanied Qin Yao and Yang Yi, and after playing at the party for a while, Yang Yi and Qin Yao also interacted with upper-class women, gaining a lot of knowledge about high society. They considered it a significant learning experience, which made both women very happy. Once everything concluded, the group returned to their residence. Back inside, Qin Fei continued to monitor the Hang Seng Index. He didn't even pay attention to Yang Yi, who had come over. The Hang Seng Index fell below 10,000 points, reaching 9,000 points, which was its lowest. Around 9,000 points, the Hang Seng would stagnate, making it difficult to generate further profits. The financial situation in Hong Kong was weak, and obtaining funds would indeed be challenging this time. However, the U.S. stock market was experiencing considerable volatility, which originally stemmed from the U.S. market. Now that the dollar had dropped significantly due to interest rate cuts, it was plummeting. The movement of the USD-JPY caught Qin Fei's attention, and he couldn't help but smile. Oh, the USD-JPY had dropped to 105. This price level was interesting. If it broke 100, it would be even more intriguing. A USD-JPY below 100 was something Qin Fei wanted to witness. So he planned to withdraw some funds from TVB to make a move on the USD-JPY. He wanted to give it a try. Right now, in the U.S. stock and foreign exchange market, no one could compete with him, not even the stock god Buffett, who had admitted defeat. He found it easy to follow the trend and was the first to withdraw 30 billion Hong Kong dollars from TVB, converting it into USD. That amounted to 5 billion US dollars. The dollar had indeed dropped a lot. Previously, he could only exchange for $5 billion US dollars, but now it reached $5 billion US dollars. However, this fluctuation did not affect him since he was focused on pure profit. Lacking predictability,